Terence Crawford is an all-time great.
Climbing 3 weight divisions, it's incredible. If you go to the 4th, then you're hitting legendary status.
Now that I moved up in weight.
Next time on 40 Days.
It's easy to become champion. It's hard to stay champion. Biggest moments of probably my life.
Live on DAZN.
Stop scrolling. Terence "Bud" Crawford just broke the internet. Not with a punch, but with a smile. A smile worth $100 million, maybe $220 million if he gets what he wants. Not 1, but 2 fights with Canelo Alvarez. The intense new training footage? Viral. The controversy? Spicy. And the fight? Possibly the most polarizing clash in modern boxing history. Let's dive into the footage, the finances, the fan backlash, and that now infamous smile from the Cheshire Cat of Omaha. In newly released training footage, Terence Crawford doesn't just look prepared, he looks transformed. This isn't the Crawford we saw at 147 pounds, or even at 154. This is a heavier, stronger, and noticeably more aggressive version of Bud, with footage showing him ripping through high-intensity pad sessions and going toe-to-toe with sparring partners rumored to be light heavyweights.
How we gonna do it, Ripley? How we gonna do it, Ripley? How we gonna do it, Ripley?
His footwork remains sharp, but what really stands out is his added muscle mass and the thudding pop behind every punch. Crawford is clearly working to adapt to the super middleweight class, and it's not just about bulking up. There's precision in his timing, noticeable rhythm in his movement, and an intensity that suggests he's gunning for more than just a payday. He's training like a man who knows the world is doubting him. That said, not everyone is convinced. Critics on social media and boxing forums are openly asking, is this real power or just gym theatrics for the cameras? Can he carry this form into the ring with a 168-pound monster like Canelo Alvarez? And while fans debate Crawford's form, Canelo's own POV training video, shot by coach Eddie Reynoso, continues to go viral, with viewers praising Canelo's sledgehammer body shots, explosive combos, and calculated head movement. One fan summed it up best: Bud better be faster than Canelo's fists, or he's toast. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the money. Crawford is reportedly set to make $100 million for the first fight with Canelo, and if a rematch happens, his total payout could reach an eye-watering $220 million. But the real controversy, he didn't earn this shot at 168 the usual way. Crawford hasn't fought any of the current killers in the division. No David Benavidez, no David Morrell, no Diego Pacheco, and that's rubbed a lot of hardcore boxing fans the wrong way. Most agree Bud's resume is elite, but not at super middleweight. Instead, he's being rewarded for his past work at lighter divisions, against names like Jeff Horn, Amir Khan, and Kell Brook, rather than proving himself against today's most dangerous 168-pounders.
I'm leaning towards Crawford now. I switched my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed, one punch at a time. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to beat Crawford.
The one punch at a time thing is very valid. Canelo throwing one punch at a time reminds me of Gervonta Tank Davis. I've often compared them to. Why? Because Canelo's approach, just like Tank Davis, has been enough. That's why it's good that Canelo squeaked out the win against Williams.
Critics believe Turki Al-Sheikh The influential Saudi boxing power broker is the one pulling the strings, choosing to bankroll a legacy super fight rather than enforcing a merit-based route. As one anonymous insider put it, Crawford didn't walk through fire to get this fight. He waited for it to fall into his lap. When asked recently if he'd like to fight Canelo twice before retiring, Crawford didn't answer with words. He smiled broadly, confidently, like someone who just won the Powerball. That grin, now immortalized in memes and dubbed the $100 million smile, has fueled speculation that Crawford's motives may be more financial than competitive. Detractors say the smile wasn't hunger, it was relief. It was the look of a fighter who's finally secured the retirement parachute every boxer dreams about. In another eyebrow-raising moment, Crawford referred to himself in the third person during a media interview. That's why Terence Crawford wants to take the opportunity to share the ring with another great. Fans quickly caught on, with some playfully accusing him of adopting a superstar persona. Others weren't so kind, suggesting the success and the soft matchmaking might be getting to his head. But whether it's calculated branding or a sign of inflated ego, it's certainly created a new narrative around Crawford, the man who believes he's already among the greats.
Terence Crawford, Canelo is the biggest fight in boxing right now today.
Your fight will do bigger numbers than Benavidez, Canelo.
100%. 100%. African-American, Mexican, they always made for the biggest fights in history.
Before proving it at 168, let's not forget, Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov wasn't exactly a blowout. Many observers, and even Canelo himself, said Bud looked beatable that night. Canelo's quote, "He lost, or at best, it was a draw." Despite the mixed reactions, Crawford secured the win, and then took a full year off, during which he never challenged a single top contender at super middleweight. Boxing insiders say this was a calculated decision to preserve his record and health before the massive payday. One commentator bluntly stated, if he wanted to prove himself, he could have fought Janibek, Ennis, or Benavidez. But that's not the plan. The plan was legacy with minimal risk and maximum reward.
Canelo likes to wait. It has to be all at Canelo's rate and pace. Right. He's not going to get that way with Terence Crawford. I just think Terence Crawford will outwork him, will pot shot him, and I think he'll win on points. And by the way, if I'm wrong and Canelo does defeat Terence Crawford and is the first man to beat him, he deserves so much credit.
Opinions from boxing royalty are just as divided. Tony Bellew believes Crawford's skills, timing, and ring IQ will carry him to an upset win. Canelo won't get to dictate the pace. Bud will outwork him and potshot him. I've got Crawford on points, but Kell Brook, who shared the ring with Crawford, disagrees. Canelo's too big, too smart, too seasoned. Crawford isn't Floyd Mayweather. He sets his feet. He's not going to outdance Canelo for 12 rounds.
Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, you know, he kind of sets his feet and he's cute with how he approaches chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. You know, both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo.
Their split perfectly represents the boxing community right now. Divided, uncertain, and bracing for war. The fight is locked for September 13th, but the official venue remains unconfirmed. Rumors suggest Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas is the leading candidate, a fitting battleground for a clash of this magnitude. With massive international interest, expect a high-profile venue reveal soon, possibly accompanied by a massive global press tour. Asked about how he plans to beat Canelo, Crawford kept it simple. Just be myself. And on whether the weight difference will be a factor, we'll see if it matters. It's classic Bud, calm, self-assured, and composed. But this time, he's gambling big. No tune-ups, no interim fights. Just one jump into the deep end against a proven shark at 168.
Can easily go fight Virgil Ortiz or Fundor, whoever, to make a quick buck or a quick little penny, but I'm looking at bigger picture. This is a legacy fight. This is a generational fight. Will be talked about for years. When I'm gone, they'll talk about, man, you remember Crawford coming up to 168 and fighting Canelo, two top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and they prime, fighting each other.
This fight has become more than a sporting contest. It's a referendum on how boxing works in the modern era. Is Terence Crawford chasing greatness or a golden retirement send-off? Can you truly become a legend without going through the fire first? And is Canelo Alvarez, the division's alpha, about to be outslicked by a man who skipped the line? So here's the real question. Does Crawford deserve this shot? Or did he hack the system with a legendary resume and perfect timing? Can Canelo protect his throne? Or is he walking into the smartest trap in boxing history? Drop your predictions in the comments, subscribe, and hit that bell for exclusive Fight Week content. This isn't just a bout, it's a collision of legacies, business, and ego, and we'll be ringside for every round. Until next time, peace out.